Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, the Iron Thunder Racing League Fort Worth Screen Printing Premier Series live here on the Iron Thunder Racing Network. Running just a bit behind here at Charlotte Motor Speedway, 4/10 of a mile clay oval here in Concord, North Carolina. Had to reset the session. We are on track and scheduled. Practice is going to end in about 2 minutes. And we'll go on with the rest of the scheduled production here tonight from Charlotte, the dirt track at Charlotte. I'll get that out. See off in the distance, see Max Dragway. Off of turn number 4 and outside of turn 1 and 2, Charlotte Motor Speedway. We saw the Rust Series and the Xfinity cars last night put on a great show with Bayley Currey taking home the victory. Roger Debo finishes in the second spot. Ryan Vargas finishes in the third spot. Saw a lot of good racing out of our Athens Screen Printing Rust Series drivers. Some of those drivers make their return here in the Premier Series tonight. Bayley Currey will make his return. You'll see him in the 4 machine here tonight. As practice starts to wrap up here. Appreciate everybody for tuning in. We're getting set to go here. They're getting ready to advance the session. And we'll move on in tonight's program. It's like 29, my count is correct, 29 cars showing up tonight. As the checkered will follow on the practice session here. Drivers had an extensive amount of practice. Over, I believe, an hour and 30 minutes worth of practice, a little extra here. As we'll roll into qualifying. Elaine Hughes will make her return. Wayne Hughes out on the speedway, Kelvin Mosier, and that Sam O'Malley's 43 machine on the speedway. Bayley Currey's Fort Worth Screen Printing 4 Chevrolet on the speedway as well. This will be, I believe, a 10-minute session. I believe they have 4 laps to get it done. They'll actually get 5 minutes. Sean Bounty in that Bounty Hunter machine will go to the top of the board here early with a 19.20, 19.20 for Sean Bounty. Bayley Currey, Texas native right now, running in that second spot. Matt Quick jumps up to the top of the board in his 89 machine. He'll show Quick 9 at 18.869. Aaron Carpenter will bring his Cosmic Motorsports machine into that second spot. Second Quick now for the Mooresville native. Aaron Carpenter, a former champion, as he'll find the Uke tire. And he'll have to reset that machine. Josh Ball's 88 Red Bull Mustang GT has found his way third fastest, a 19.17, 19.173, 19.173. Matthew Kloosterhuis, Canadian driver in that 42 Toyota Camry. He finds himself set seventh quick with a 19.38, 19.378 for Kloosterhuis, as Raymond Rittenauer will jump out there in the Lucky Dogs Doggy Daycare JCOM Ford Mustang. He'll jump up to that seventh spot. Right now, Matt Quick, Aaron Carpenter, Josh Ball, Sean Bayley, Bayley Currey, your top five. Looks like we have 28 cars taking time, or 31 now, have made their way onto the speedway to attempt the qualifying lap. We'll take a look at lead commissioner Sawyer Ott. Ott right now currently 13th quick at a 19.43. 19.430 for Sawyer Ott. George Belfons Jr. right now, fifth quick at a 19.19, a 19.186 for George Belfons Jr. Matt Quick still sits on top of the board here as he continues around the speedway. And that's 30 seconds left here. Bayley Currey still out on the speedway. Josh Ball just ended his. Matt Quick still ripping the lip out here. This is the Bayley Currey Racing Showdown from the dirt track at Charlotte Motor Speedway. And we appreciate you taking your time out to join us here on the Iron Thunder Racing Network. This is the Fort Worth Screen Printing Premier Series of the Iron Thunder Racing League. Getting ready, the checker will fall on our qualifying session. And we'll start setting up heat race action here for the dirt track at Charlotte Motor Speedway. Heat number 1. 10 laps for the heat. Matt Quick, Josh Ball. And taking the top 8 cars to the big show. We'll see the grid line up. Heat number 1, Matt Quick, Josh Ball, George Belfons Jr., Corey Deal, and Tresson out your top 5. Raymond Rittenauer will start heat race number 1 in 6th spot. 7th will be Storm Patterson. 8th, Matt Sawyer Ott, Matt Cherry 9th. 10th, Adam Strong, Kelvin Mosier. 11th, 12th will be Roger Debo, Justin White. 13th, Brandon Gregory. 14th, 15th will be Elaine Hughes, Zachary Kreiser. We'll start 16. Taking the top 8 to the show. No automatic cautions again tonight. The only caution will be thrown out for the track being blocked or a car actually stopping on the speedway. So the field will roll off the grid here. Heat race number 1. Getting ready to come out here. They're on the speedway now. We'll see the top 8 going to the show. Now we get the one to go signal. Heat race 1 on the speedway. Pace truck off the speedway to the infield. Field will work their way slowly, turns through 3 and 4. We're getting ready to go green here for heat race number 1, the Bayley Currey Showdown. Green away. Josh Ball leads them on the bottom of the speedway down into turn number 1. 94 of George Belfons Jr. slides up into that second spot. That'll put the third place driver of the 89 of Matt Quick is Josh Ball. Leads us out of turn number 4 to put lap 1 on the board. 9 laps remain here in heat race number 1. Top 8 going to the big show. Quick now slipping back. Looks like 29 of Elaine Hughes already going down a lap here early in heat race number 1. We'll see right now that battle for the third spot. Give it to Corey Teal in that 56 machine. 15 of Trestonot now will ride in the 4th spot. Matt Quick back to 5th. 87 of Raymond Rittenauer rides to the 6th spot. George Belfons Jr. up front now trying to make a move on your leader, the 88 of Josh Balls. He has that Red Bull machine out in front of the field. Take a look at second place finisher last night, Roger Debo, currently riding in the 10th spot. Remember, top 8 going to the big dance. Everybody else going to the last chance showdown. Doing it in the dirt here. Contact. 6 of Storm Patterson. 87 of Rittenauer. Patterson gets the tough end of the deal. Sawyer up the walk. Roger Debo up and around. That car stopped. Pointed in the wrong direction. Well out of the racing groove. We stay green. George Belfons Jr. was able to work his way around the 88 of Josh Ball while all that was going down. Now with 4 laps to go, it is George Belfons Jr., Josh Ball, Corey Teal, Trestonot, Matt Quick, your top 5. Adam Strong, Kelvin Mosier, Ray Rittenauer right now will transfer in. The 6 of Storm Patterson on the outside looking in now. Patterson trying to get that momentum build up behind the 87 of Raymond Rittenauer. He's trying to get in the show here. Sawyer Ott closing in on those 2 drivers as well. 3 laps to go. Belfons Jr. still leading. Josh Ball, Corey Deal, your top 3. Rittenauer will get around. And we got him 3 wide for this transfer spot with 2 laps to go. Kelvin Mosier was in and now is out. Storm Patterson still now have to battle the battered and tattered, damaged 35 machine. As George Belfons Jr. comes out, he'll win heat race number 1. Back to the battle for the transfer spot. Sawyer Ott on the top. Storm Patterson on the bottom. Patterson going to miss the transfer. George Belfons Jr., Josh Ball, Corey Deal, Trestonot, Matt Quick, Adam Strong, Ray Rittenauer, Sawyer Ott transfer to the feature. Heat race number 2 going to come at you really quick here. Congratulations to George Belfons Jr. for picking up heat race number 1 win. Heat race 2 on the grid now. Aaron Carpenteri will be set on the front row to his outside. Will be the 34 of Sean Bounty in that Bounty Hunter machine. Row number 2 will find the number 4 of Bayley Currey in the Fort Worth Screen Printing Chevrolet. To the outside will be the 09 of Dave Matson. Inside of row number 3 we'll find the 33 of Josh Cully. To the outside will be Matthew Klusterhuis in the 42. The inside, row number 4, the 66 Fort Worth screen printing machine of John Garrett. To the outside will be the 25 of Brendan Klusterhuis. Row number 5 will find the 48 of Brendan Papatat and his Fort Worth screen printing machine. And to the outside will be the 47 of Dustin Franklin. Alex Little will start inside of row number 6. To the outside will be Matthew Welsenbach in the 31. Sam Green scheduled to start 13th. A little bit of flip-flop, but we're getting ready to roll here. Field out on the racetrack. Two by two, 10 laps make up heat race number 2. Top 8 to the show. Top 8 will transfer to the feature. Sean Bounty, Aaron Carpentier on the front row. Bayley, Currey, Dave Matson, row number 2, row 3. Josh Cully in the 33 Flow Racing Machine. And to the outside of the 42 of Matt Klusterhuis. Green flag now come out in the air. Heat race number 2 underway. Sean Bounty goes out to the early lead. Aaron Carpentier all the way to the top side of the speedway. That one car, the 31 of Matthew Welsenbach. That machine turned around in the wrong direction in turns 1 and 2. He gets it back going. We stay green. Sean Bounty will lead him across the line. Aaron Carpentier, Bayley Currey, Josh Cully. Bayley Currey pulls a slider down in turn number 2 on the 7 of Carpentier. They make contact. Currey will take the spot. Now Josh Cully going to battle with the 7 of Carpentier for that 3rd spot. Sean Bounty, your leader. 2nd will be the 4 of Bayley Currey. We'll check back around your transfer spot, and it is the 42 of Matthew Klusterhuis. Klusterhuis in your transfer spot, riding the wall. He's going to give up that spot to the 09 of the 09 of Dave Matson. John Garrett slips by. Contact Matson and Garrett as they battle for that transfer spot. Steele, Bounty, Curry, Carpentier, Cully, and Pampatak in top 5. We continue to watch this transfer spot here. Right now, John Garrett on the outside looking in. Dave Matson working that outside. He currently holds the transfer spot. Matson up on the wall, jump the cushion. He'll just power through now. He's going to lose one spot to the 66 of Garrett. He makes contact. Carpentier stopped in the middle or the bottom of turn number 2. Contact Dave Matson, 42 of Klusterhuis. Klusterhuis in the spin cycle. He'll recover it now. The 24 of Jed Leaka, the 16 of Alex Little. Trouble in turns 3 and 4. Dave Matson now is your transfer spot holder. Sean Bounty and Bayley Currey still run 1 and 2. We're down to 3 laps to go here. 3 laps remain. Dustin Franklin now up to that transfer spot. Here goes that battle. It's a 3-car battle on the final lap. Oh, big crash out of Dave Matz, and that's going to end his heat race here. Heat race number 2. One final time around. Sean Bounty going to come off of turn number 4. Bounty going to be your winner, followed by Bayley Currey. Dustin Franklin right now sitting comfortably in a transfer spot, nobody behind him. Sean Bounty wins. Bayley Currey, Josh Cully, Brendan Papatat, Brendan Kluserhoos, John Garrett, Matthew Kluserhoos, and Dustin Franklin all go to the show. Alrighty, heat race 3 now. We'll take, excuse me. The LCQ. The last chance showdown takes the grid. Storm Patterson, Sam Green on the front row. Row number 2's Kelvin Mosier, Aaron Carpenteri. Row 3, we'll find Matt Cherry and Dave Matson. Row 4 will be Justin White, Matthew Welsenbach. Row 5, Manon Gregory and Paul Smith. Row 6 will be Zach Kreiser and David Jedlicka. Alex Little and Elaine Hughes will round out your field. Okay, I think we're taking the top 10 here. Green flag in the air. Storm Patterson leads them. Matt Cherry in the 43 of Kelvin Mosier. And we got a big one. Over in turns 1 and 2. Watch the 43 of Mosier as he made contact with a 5 of Matt Cherry. Up into the wall, nowhere to go for Sam Green. As they and then the 38 of Roger Diebold throws salt in the wound as he missed the grid of that car back out of the speedway now. 2 of 15 in the books. They get 3 now of 15 in the books. As we are under caution here for the last chance showdown. Welcome once again to the Josh Cully fan club. Top 10 going to make it to the dance here in the last chance showdown. The Bayley Currey Racing Showdown here at the dirt track at Charlotte Motor Speedway. 4/10 of a mile oval. Pace truck off to the infield here. And Storm Patterson, Aaron Carpentier going to bring this back to the green flag. Field under control, other 6 of Storm Patterson. Patterson will drop the hammer. We are back green. Patterson will lead him down to the turn number 1. Patterson chooses the middle of the speedway. He'll drift up to the top side. Out of turn number 2, down the back straightaway. Aaron Carpentier looks to the inside. Carpentier to the bottom. Patterson to the top. Cherry up there. Jump the cushion of what cushion may be there. We'll tag the outside wall, but that battle now is for the lead here for the last chance. Showdown here for the Bayley Currey Racing Showdown for the Fort Worth Screen Printing Premier Series. And Gregory and Justin White, trouble over in turn number 2. We stay green. White still stopped in the bottom of the speedway, but well out of the racing groove. Alex Little into 16. Inside the transfer spot here inside the top 10. There's a Hornet's Nest right in front of him. Roger Debold trying to make his way up to the field after missing the grid. Got a good break. With the early caution, he is up right now. Roger Debo riding in the 6th spot, just outside of the top 5 as he'll throw it down into turn number 1. He'll look under Welsenbach for that 5th spot. He'll try to clear that machine down the back straightaway. They make contact. They both stay straight. We stay green. Aaron Carpentier still leads as he works slower traffic out of turn number 2. 6 laps to go as your leader works his way down the back straightaway. Storm Patterson rides in that 2nd spot. It'll be Dave Matson 3rd. Matt Cherry into 5. Rides in that 4th spot. Now put him back to 5th as the dude wipes 38 of Roger Debo. Now moves up into the 4th spot. Right now the 16 of Alex Little comfortably inside that transfer spot. No pressure from behind with 5 laps remaining here in the last chance showdown. Oh, big trouble for Welsenbach. Welsenbach inside the transfer spot, and he creamed the tractor tire down in turn number 2. Brought that car to a complete stop, and that'll set up Sam Green for the transfer spot as your leader will work his way around 11th place of Matthew Welsenbach. Now Welsenbach will try to recover here with 3 laps remaining and try to run down that 21 of Sam Green. Carpentier will make it 2 to go this time by. Carpentier now exit turn number 2 while 2nd place of Storm Patterson was at the line. Sam Green able to fight it off. Aaron Carpentier has got the white flag. He'll make his way through turns 3 and 4 for the final time here in the last chance showdown. And the winner is Aaron Carpentier. Storm Patterson still riding that 2nd spot. He'll work his way for the final time at turn number 4. He'll finish in the runner-up spot. Dave Matson 3rd. Roger Debo with a great recovery, finishing in 4th. Matt Cherry 5th. Kelvin Mosier 6th. 7th with David Jedlicka. And that'll do it for the last chance. Alrighty, here we go. Getting ready to put the cars on the grid. 125 laps here at the dirt track at Charlotte Motor Speedway. Top 26 make it in. And we'll start at the 26th spot. It'll be Sam Green. 25th starting position, Alex Little. 24th will be Zachary Kreiser. David Chidlika starts 23rd. Kelvin Mosier starts at the 22nd position. 21st will be Matt Cherry. 20th, Roger Diebold. Starting 19th, Dave Matson. Starting 18th will be Storm Patterson. Aaron Carpenteri starts at the 17th spot. 16th, starter Dustin Franklin. 15th place starter will be Sawyer Ott. 14th, Matthew Kluser, Raymond Rittenauer. 13th, John Garrett. 12th, Adam Strong. 11th, your top 10, Brendan Kluser, Matt Quick, Brendan Pembertat, Treston Ott, Josh Cully. Your top 5 starters, Corey Deal, Bayley Currey, Josh Ball, Sean Bounty, and George Belfons Jr. on the pole here for 125 laps at the Bayley Currey Racing Showdown at Charlotte Motor Speedway. Sit down, buckle up, and enjoy the action of the Iron Federation League Fort Worth Screen Printing Premier Series. 1 to go. We'll see the pace truck dip off the safety up pit road. George Belfons Jr., Sean Bounty set to bring the field to life. Josh Ball and Bayley Currey in that 4 machine starting row number 2. Corey Deal and Josh Cully starting row number 3. Green is out. The Bayley Currey Showdown at Charlotte Motor Speedway is green. Off into turn number 1 we go. Sean Bounty, the 88 of Josh Ball, contact 3 wide for lead down the back straightaway. Bounty will fall out of the wayside. 94 of George Belfons Jr. to the lead with Josh Ball charging hard on the inside. He'll take that top spot down into turn number 1. Working underneath now, they make contact. Belfons and Ball on the back straightaway 1 and 2. Bounty rides in that 3rd spot. 4th will be Corey Deal. 5th now is the 33 of Josh Cully working to the bottom side of the speedway in that 33 machine. Across the line, Josh Cully now scored in that 4th spot. Contact again, Belfons Jr. and the 34, Sean Bounty. Bounty going to get him up 3 spots now as that car tail into that machine working out from under him. We already got 4 laps a little here. 125 laps make up the distance. 122 left. There'll be action all over the speedway. We'll see the 88 work on some lap traffic pretty quickly. Four of Bayley Currey scoring right now in the 4th spot. 4 on 4. Corey Deal right now riding in that 4th spot as he's able to get around the footwork screen printing of Bayley Currey. Josh Ball is set on cruise control right now, but he'll have to start fending off some slower traffic here in just a few laps. He'll start to catch up and tail into the field in the Sam Green 21 machine. John Garrett jumped the cushion out of turn number 4. He'll lose a few positions. a look at your leader, Josh Ball, as that car steps out on him. Down the back straight away. Luckily for him, he's got a 1.28 second gap between he and the 94 George Belfons Jr. But that gap now closing up tremendously. As Josh Ball going to have to be on his P's and Q's. Belfon's able to close the gap there. Through turns 1 and 2. Josh Currey right now rides in that third spot. Currey will work the high side through 3 and 4. As we see this track change over the course of these 125 laps. Yellow out on the speedway. Looks like the 7 of Aaron Carpentier has turned himself around in turn number 2. Carpentier looks like too hot off into turn number 1. Raymond Rittenauer nowhere to go. He gets sandwiched to the wall. David Jedlicka will get into the 7 of Carpentier. We'll have our first caution of the night out here for our feature. A little different if you're used to dirt track racing. The restart zone here is past the Charlotte painted on the wall in turn 4. Anywhere after that, the leader can fire. A lot of you that may be familiar with dirt track racing, that usually happens over in the entrance of turn number 3. Here, the restart zone at Charlotte Dirt Track. We'll let you know and get a good visual here when Josh Ball enters that restart zone. And there he is, right in the restart zone. And he jumps on the gas, and we are back green. Josh Ball leads him off at the turn number 1. Corey Deal now jumping up in that 3rd spot. 4th will be Josh Currey, that Flow Racing machine. The bounty hunter, Sean Bounty, rides right now in the 5th spot. Bayley Currey on the outside looking in. Sawyer Ott has made his way up 8 positions to the 7th spot. So a good run early here for the Fort Worth screen printing 35 of Sawyer Ott, lead commissioner, and trouble with your leader, Josh Ball. Ball up into the outside retaining wall. He'll lose the lead to George Belfons Jr. and that 2nd spot to Corey Deal, but they'll battle hard down the back straightaway side by side. Corey Deal, Josh Ball into turn number 3. Ball on the top, Deal to the bottom. Josh Kelly watching this unfold in front. Meanwhile, all smiles from the Belfons Motorsports machine as he slips away from the rest of the field as they work their way down the back straightaway. This time we'll see 19 laps go on the board for George Belfons Jr. Corey Deal flirting with that outside retaining wall over in turn number 4. As you see that car high, wide, and handsome through turns 1 and 2. Up rim, riding the rim here at the dirt track at Charlotte Motor Speedway. Bailey Currey jumps the cushion over in turn number 4. He'll ride the rim and use the wall to his advantage. Hard contact down here in turns 1 and 2 for Corey Deal as he'll kiss the rear and the front off of that outside retaining wall. But he'll just hammer it down and work underneath Josh Ball and above for the Currey as he's going back for that runner-up spot. He'll work the middle side of the speedway. Josh Kelly way down low to Flow Racing. 33. Wilson Farm, Strutmasters.com, your leader. Pancakes to Charlotte sign over in turn 3 and 4. Corey Deal with a challenge now as lap traffic coming up. Your leader all over the back end of the Chrysler machine. Third place of Josh Ball will get into the back end of that. We got a three-way battle for the lead. Make it 4 if you throw in the 33 of Josh Cully. Josh Ball going to go through the infield. Contact, and they're wrecking in front of them. One car turned around the wrong way. Caution will fly. Contact Josh Cully and Josh Ball. Looks like it may have been the Papa Tap machine. Replay coming up. Oh, Dustin Franklin and Papa Tap. It's like they get involved. Like Franklin was losing the handle on that machine. He had to whoa up. Nowhere to go for Papa Tap. He continued to wreck down the front straightaway. That was a lap before. Let's see what happened to actually bring out the caution. Oh, the 21 of green right in front of your leaders. But we go back under caution here. Second caution of the night. George Belfons Jr., Corey Deal, Sean Bounty, Josh Kelly, Bayley Currey, your top 5. It'll be Josh Ball, Matthew Kluserhus, Sawyer Ott, Brandon Kluserhus, and Matt Quick round out the top 10. 26 of 125 on the board, 100 laps remain. One extra pace lap to get the field caught up, and that free pass car to the back of the field. Snafu on iRacing's part. So we'll have to re-rack them and stack them one more time. Alrighty, waiting for that one to go. Signal closing in on the end of stage number 1. Alrighty, here we go. Pace truck is off. Up to George Belfons Jr., where he fires over in turn number 4. Green flag back in the air. Good restart for George Belfons Jr. He jumps out to about 7 car lengths into turn number 1. Currey Deal will sling it off into turn number 1. But he's going to bite himself on the rear as he'll tag that outside wall and allow Sean Bounty and the Bounty Hunter machine to move up into that runner-up spot. You take a look at that battle for that runner-up spot right now. Deal in danger of losing the 3rd spot. Josh Cully going to fly off into turns 3 and 4. You'll have Lee Commissioner Sawyer right behind, who's the biggest mover in the race so far, up 9 spots to the 6th spot. Tight quarters here in this 4/10 of a mile oval. Look out, Sean Bounty going to get a tough break. Sawyer Ott nosed hard into the wall. Caution out. More cars collected. They're scattered, smothered, and covered over in turn number 1. Wow, we'll have to unpack this one for a couple of minutes here. Take a look at the replay. Try to get the replay up. Deal got loose, clip 34. Josh Ball got him to 56. Sawyer Ott, and all unfolded from there. Stage number 1 complete. Sawyer Ott will have to bring it to the infield for repair. Now, a lot happening there in a short time. 38 of 125 make it 39 this time by. That'll be 87 laps to go. George Belfons Jr., Josh Cully, Currey Deal, Bayley Currey, Josh Ball, your top 5. It'll be Sean Bounty, Matt Quick, Brendan Kluchus, Adam Strong, Dylan Patterson round out the top 10. 1 to go. We'll see the pace truck pull into the infield here. We'll wait for the 94 of George Belfons Jr. to enter the restart zone. Oh, trouble for Sean Bounty. Did not get going. Now your leader mired way back in the field, all the way back to the 10th spot. He has lost 10 positions. New leader, Josh Cully, the Flow Racing Machine, completely missing the whole front end of that machine. He's got it in the wind now. Bayley Currey will go to the high side. He'll move into that runner-up spot, but Josh Ball trying to run him down the back straightaway. Slide job, not going to make it. Bayley Currey turns in front of the field. Oh, Bayley Currey took a jab at the 33. Josh Currey. Slide job did not work out for the 4 machine of Bayley Currey. Josh Currey, still your leader. Close Hoos with the lucky dog. Pace truck off. Josh Currey drops the hammer. Back to green we go. 46 of 125 complete. Corey Deal down on the bottom of the speedway. Josh Ball rides in that second spot. He'll get a good run off of turn number 2 now. 33 of Josh Currey up on that high side in turns 3 and 4. Lap 47. Of course, Belfonte Jr. back there trying to make his way back up through the field. Up now back to the 7th spot after falling back to 10th. Mishap on the restart. Car might have went with the shifter malfunction to the wrong gear. He'll work right to the back deck lid of Sean Bounty. Sean Bounty fighting ill handling race car out of turn number 2. We'll give a big shout out and hats off to all our Iron Thunder Racing League drivers throwing these bad boys out here on the red clay. Actually making a heck of a race so far as Bounty and Belfonte swap paint back there in turn number 2. Josh Currey still showing the way up front with 50 of 125 on the board. Corey Deal trying to make something work in the middle of the speedway as we see David Jedlicka trouble over in turn number 2. He'll try to get back on track on the back straightaway. 2 distinctly different lines, and that'll cost Josh Currey. The rear end of that car stepped out of him on turn number 4. That'll allow the 56 of Corey Deal now to work to the inside. He'll take the lead down the back straightaway. Josh Currey now will move down to the bottom out of turn number 4. He'll try a different line now as he tries to run down the 56 of Corey Deal. Currey down to the bottom of the speedways in turn 1 and 2. Matt Quick is trying to make his return back up to the front. He's up 5 spots now as he rides into 4th position as caution flies for the 15 of Tresnant around in turn number 4. See what happened to the 15 of Tresnant. Old Zach Kreiser to 21 of Sam Green. Oh, Alex Little gets involved as well. That brings out our 6th caution of the night. Alrighty, we'll reset the top 10 for you here with 55 of 125 on the board. Ordeal, Josh Currey rising at 2nd spot. Josh Ball 3rd. 4th will be Brandon Klusterhuis. Matt Quick 5th. 6th, George Belfont Jr. 7th, Sean Bounty. 8th, Storm Patterson. 9th will be Roger Debo. John Garrett rounds out your top 10 on the 66 Fort Worth screen printing machine. Corey Deal going to elect the bottom of the speedway for this restart. Appreciate everybody for tuning in to tonight's action. Corey Deal getting ready to enter the restart zone. He'll go up the speedway, now back down on the hammer. As we go back green, Corey Deal with a little connection issue. That stabilizes, riding in that 2nd spot. Oh, the 25 of Klusterhuis gets into it with Belfons Jr. Belfons up into the outside wall. There's a good look at that degree deodorant 56 machine of Corey Deal. That car beat up. Can't even see the number on the side of that machine. Totally missing the back deck lid as well. But he shows the way over Josh Currey, Matt Quick, Josh Ball, and Brendan Klusterhuis at the moment. There is a battle for that 3rd spot. See Josh Ball and getting out of Matt Quick. Quick up on the top side, up into that cushion. Contact! Quick will go up and hit the wall. Quick now in danger. He'll lose a spot to Klusterhuis. And now is a hornet's nest as the 6th is Storm Patterson. Right up in the mix as well, Sean Bounty. Work underneath and oh, look out! Bayley Currey involved, caution on the speedway. Matt Quick hung it out a little too far. Corey Deal out of Morganton, North Carolina, currently leading. Josh Currey rising that 2nd spot. Josh Ball 3rd, Sean Bounty 4th. Klusterhuis, your top 5. '15 machine of Treston Ott will get the pass. 4 of Bayley Currey. Looks like that machine may be done for the night. And tough break for George Belfont Jr. It's like he got hung up on the tractor or the tire down in turn number 4. And that car had to be towed to the infield. Going green this time out. Cully and Deal on the front row. It's all in the hands of Corey Deal. Once he enters the restart zone, everybody else can drop the hammer. And we're back green. Deal gets a great restart out of turn number 4 here. See that rubber starting to take control over just about the entire corner of 1 and 2. As well as 3 and 4. Racetrack gets really slick. Let's see if we can kind of transfer that over into your living room. You see that rubber starting to take onto the racetrack. And the moisture leaving the surface as well. You see a little bit of dust coming up behind the 56 of Corey Deal as he continues to lead Josh Cully. Sean Bounty has moved into that 3rd spot ahead of 4th place, the 88 of Josh Ball. Caluster, who's, we got one stop at the bottom of the speedway. 48 of Brandon Papatat. Now 38 of Roger Debo now trying to do battle with Storm Patterson for that 6th spot. We'll have John Garrett, 4-point string for the machine. Right on the back deck into that machine. Sawyer out trying to recover from a near disaster just a handful of laps ago. Ott now back up to the 9th spot. And Roger Debo just sitting off in the turn number 4. It looks like it's going to cost him 2 spots, maybe 3. As Sawyer Ott starts breathing down the neck. But he makes a nice recovery over in turns 2. Gets into it with a 66 of Garrett. Around goes the 35. They keep it going. There's a look for the battle for the 4th spot. Check back on your leaders as they come into frame. Cully and Deal at the front of the speedway. And right now we've got cars all over the racetrack. You pick a spot and they're racing. Sean Bounty to the bottom of the speedway. He'll get the chrome horn from the 88 of Josh Ball, and around he'll go to that 3rd spot. Josh Cully back to 4th. Brendan Caluster, who hangs it out in turn number 4. He'll lose some momentum. Quickly back to the gas. One car around the 15 of Tressenant in the bottom of turn 2. Now there's your gap. 1.4 second advantage for Corey Deal. Caution out of the speedway. David Jedlicka may have been the cause of this incident. Oh, big hit from the 60 Storm Patterson. And the 24 Jedlicka just held the brakes on the top of turn number 2 to avoid coming down and making contact with anybody in the racing surface. And that concludes stage number 2. We will not go back to green before the end of the stage. As we get 78 laps on the board, 48 to go. Ready for the restart here. Corey Deal, Josh Ball. But Josh Cully went to the pits. Gives up that spot. He's going to make a charge to the end. The fresh race car. Green flag back in the air. Corey Deal jumps back down on the hammer. And a big reminder here for all these cars in the back of the speedway. They cannot change lanes until they get to the start-finish line. So, you know, really hinders people starting in the back of the field. Contact 42, Kloosterhoos. And we got them scattered, smothered, and covered on the front straightaway. Watch it one more time. Like it may have started with Patterson up in the top of turn number 3. Bounces off the wall. Kluster, who's nowhere to go. 47 to Franklin. Turns the 35 machine. We're back under caution for the nighttime to go. 40 laps left here in the Bayley Currey Racing Showdown Fort Worth Screen Printing Premier Series. One to go. Green flag back in the air. Corey Deal drops the hammer once again here at the dirt track at Charlotte Speedway. Old Dustin Franklin riding the wall down through turns 1 and 2. Keep that machine pointed in the right direction, and Storm Patterson in that 6th as Corey Deal loses some momentum. He's fighting it all he can down the front straightaway. Tank slapping all the way down. Caution back out on the speedway. 3-car crash over in turn number 4. Parapatat loses the handle right up in front of Adam Schroen and the 87 of Rittenauer. 10th caution tonight. Of Alex Little getting the pass here. Corey Deal, Josh Ball, Brendan Kluster, Storm Patterson, Roger Debold, your top 5. Josh Cully has made it back up to the 12th spot. Currently 20 cars in the lead lap. One to go. Field now will double up behind the iRacing.com official pace truck. Corey Deal going to restart over in turn number 4 in the restart zone. Back on the gas goes Corey Deal. He'll bring the field back to life. 31 laps to go. Josh Ball going to follow right in the tire tracks of that 56 of Corey Deal. Deal able to pull away 4-5, make it 6 car lengths into turns 3 and 4. Back here to Storm Patterson. He's going to try to find his way around the 25 of Clusha, who gets loose. Hold the top side of the speedway. He'll stack up everybody else behind. Right now, the madman on a mission, Josh Cully, and oh man, that was unfortunate. Josh Cully stuck on the tire over in turn number 4, and that's going to all but seal the deal for Josh Cully. He has to tow back to the infield, and his night all but over here. There's Corey Deal. Josh Cully was a man on a mission and making his way up through the field after going to the pits at the end of stage number 2. You see the leaders work their way around Dustin Franklin. But now will be scored in 19th position, 1 lap down. Nowhere to go for Josh Kelly. Tough break for that Flow Racing machine. Already with 2 wins on the season. Oh man, Josh Ball and Dustin Franklin make contact as Ball's car stepped out on him. And Dustin Franklin trying to fight that machine. And that'll allow Corey Deal to jump out to a 2-second lead over Josh Ball, who has finally got that machine to some clean air. And he'll try to reel back in that 56 Corey Deal. Roger Debo with a podium finish last night, setting himself up for the same tonight. Adam Strong going to bring out the caution here on lap 102. Exactly what happened to Adam Strong. It's like he overcorrected into turn number 3 and just looped it in 4, 3-car wreck. Just ahead of your leader, Corey Deal, coming in on the top side there. Adam Strong will rejoin the field. Green flag back in the air. Corey Deal jumps back on the loud pedal. Drive off into turn number 1 and 2. Roger Debo made a push. Josh Ball down right to that second spot. Debo right now, man on the mission. Debo up 17 spots from the drop of the green flag. Biggest mover on the racetrack other than Matt Cherry. He's currently up 16 spots to the 5th position. Roger Debo moves into that second spot. Can he best his position from last night by 1? Run down to 56 of Currey Deal for the win with 18 laps remaining. Contact, Klusterhoos and Matt Cherry. Looks like contact again from 6 of Storm Patterson, who throws it off down into turn number 3 and 4. One car around, the 6 of Patterson, faced in the wrong direction. Cool. Finally, the yellow comes out. But Storm Patterson already stopped over there. We'll see he makes. Oh, gets contact from Cherry. It just has to hold on to the brakes as the field comes by. Cars continue to roll by. And then Dustin Franklin. Franklin and the 21 of Sam Green get together and go through the infield. Roger Debo up 18 spots, rides in that second spot behind Currey Deal, your leader. One to green here in the Bayley Currey Racing Showdown Fort Worth Screen Printing Premier Series. Live on the Iron Thunder Racing Network from the dirt track at Charlotte Motor Speedway. Pace truck off the speedway now. Roger Debo and Currey Deal work their way toward the restart zone. Deal jumps back on the hammer. Foul down the front straightaway into turn number 1. Josh Ball at the bottom. Roger Debo with a good run off the top. Can he make it stick? Loses a little bit of momentum down the back straightaway. Lets Josh Ball work underneath. Currey Deal has a bobble in turn number 4, but racing behind him prevented anybody from capitalizing. Roger Debo slips back to the 3rd spot. 88 of Josh Ball now on a mission to get around to 56 of Currey Deal. Deal looks like he's having trouble on the exit of turn number 4. 10 laps to go. Final 10 laps of the Bayley Currey Racing Showdown at the dirt track at Charlotte Motor Speedway. Deal with a bobble down the back straightaway. Chrome horn applied by the 88 of Josh Ball. See how slow it is right there in turn number 4. As they both go to the bottom of the speedway, a little contact. deal, goes all the way up the speedway. Now they're side by side. Down the back straightaway into turn number 3. Caution. Caution out on the speedway. And we'll have to see what iRacing has it scored. Let's see if Deal actually gets that spot back. See what happened over there on the exit of turn number 2. Looks like the 5 and the 42 make contact with each other. 42 almost stopped on the speedway. Josh Ball was in the lead when the caution came out. We'll make sure that's correct. What my scoring in timing has. Josh Ball is your leader. And now iRacing corrects itself. We should see the one to go next time by. We're 6 laps left. We'll put a bow on this one here with 5 laps remaining. We'll see the restart with 4 to go. Looking for the final restart of the night here. Josh Ball, your leader. Currey deals to that outside. It's going to be a drag race down to turn number 1. Could restart by the top 4. All not able to get away. Currey Deal goes quickly to the high side. He'll rim ride. He'll grab the wall. Trying to get a run off the back straightaway. He'll pull even into turns 3 and 4 with your leader. Sawyer up in the mix of 38. Oh, contact, top 2. Up in the walls. 38 of Roger Diebold will go to the lead. Sawyer riding second. Recovering is the 88 of Josh Ball. He now rides in that 3rd spot. Now the battle is for the lead. Roger Diebold, Sawyer down the back straightaway into turns 3 and 4 with 3 laps to go. There's going to be bullhorns in the air from the flag stand. 2 to go, and we're almost dead even down into turn number 1. To the high side goes Ott, to the bottom goes Roger the Bulldozer Diebold. Ott looking for that run down the back straightaway. He'll take the momentum, he'll take the lead in turn number 3. Ott on the high side, high, wide, and handsome. On the bottom of the speedway goes Roger Diebold. At the line with 1 to go, your leader Sawyer Ott. Ott not up as far as he was in the previous lap. Roger Diebold with the momentum on the bottom side. Not going away on that outside. One final time through turns 3 and 4. Roger Diebold rocks up the track. He'll pull a slider. Down to the bottom goes the 35 of Sawyer Ott. He'll win. Across the line, up in the air. Roger Diebold. Josh Ball 3rd. Wow, what a finish. I'm going to have to get a swig of water. But the crossover move from lead commissioner Sawyer Ott. And he takes the Bayley Currey Racing Showdown here, the dirt track at Charlotte Motor Speedway. We got to check it out one more time before we go to interviews. 9th to 1st. in 5 laps. We'll replay it one more time. That final lap for you here, the Bayley Currey Racing Showdown from the Charlotte dirt track. Roger slides up the racetrack, crossover move. That car got hung out to the outside. And wow, what a finish. Got to get that camera back to the 38 of Roger Debold. And we'll see that last lap action one more time. Almost gets your leader up into the wall and then up and over. Josh Ball credited with second, third, Roger Debold. And let's go ahead and work on our top 3 interviews. Wow. Here we go. We're going to work up into the booth. Now we'll get them. We'll talk to Roger Debold for a second time in as many nights. We'll get Josh Ball up here as well. Got a few in the hauler. Let's start with third place finisher Roger Debold. And make sure we got all the mics on here. Don't want to miss nothing. And joining me now after a wild and woolly race here at the dirt track at Charlotte Motor Speedway. What a finish, Roger Debold. Man, you set yourself up. You actually gained 17 positions to finish on the podium for the second time this week. Man, I know it wasn't right where you wanted it to be, but you were definitely able to put up a fight there to the bitter end. Congratulations on dragging out for a third place finish here tonight.
Yeah, thanks, man. Yeah, all night just super frustrated. Never really got a feel for the car, and those last couple laps there, I knew Sawyer was outside, and I didn't want to slide up and use him up. And going into the last corner, I knew he was going to try to back up and cross me over, and I tried to keep it down there, and it just washed all the way up to the wall, and then kind of clipped the wall there. And I knew they were all down there, so I just stayed in the throttle after that, and knew I'd either beat him to the line or I was wrecking across the line. So I mean, yeah, a lot better finish than I thought I was gonna get. But yeah, I don't know. I wasn't a fan of it, but if it put on a good show, then I guess the fans got what they were looking for.
And I tell you, a question I had coming into tonight, Ken, what you learned last night, could you bring anything over to this next gen car? And was it just something totally different?
No, it was, I mean, night and day difference. Last night was pretty drivable for the most part. I mean, it wasn't great, but tonight it felt like we were driving on snow the entire time. Really had no control of the car the entire time. Like I said, pretty frustrated all night, and then just kind of found my way up to the front and tried to. I mean, just like last night, just did the best I could to try to keep it going forward, and it ended up with a good finish.
Well, congratulations on 2 podium finishes this week, and maybe we can roll on into next week and keep that momentum up. And look forward to having you back up here in the booth. Good luck for the rest of the season, and hopefully we can talk to you again soon.
Yeah, man, appreciate you.
Have a good one.
Thank you.
All righty, we're going to bring up Josh Ball. We'll give him a second in the waiting room. We just drug him out of the hauler. Hope there wasn't much going on there. But we'll bring up the driver of the Red Bull 88 machine. And what a night, man. You fought all night long up there at the top of the field and just quite couldn't pull off the finish you were wanting. But nonetheless, it's a great podium finish. And you and Roger right there had a wild ride coming to the line. Congratulations.
Yeah, thanks. Unfortunately, I thought I was gonna get the win there, but I guess something happened with the 56 or whatever, and he got into me, and we kind of got into the wall and gave up the lead to Roger and Sawyer. And I was trying to get back to the front because I knew, I was probably one of the faster cars, and I just couldn't get there in time.
And I tell you, we see a totally different car than we had last night. I know a lot of guys kind of that were pretty good last night kind of struggled tonight, and it was a tale of two different, of course, two different race cars anyway. But the racetrack seemed like it might have been consistent, um, as far as wear and whatnot, but definitely different driving styles of race cars, and didn't really see many people trying the bottom like we saw Roger do last night.
Yeah, like you said, completely different cars, and I felt like this car drove better. Um, yeah, last night I was not doing as good as tonight, so um, but yeah, the bottom, as soon as you got hit the bottom, I felt like it really gripped, and being the last 80 laps of being on the top, it was kind of throwing you off, trying to get it around. So no, I mean, all in all, I think it was a good night. Obviously, it's not something we usually do, and these cars aren't meant for this track. But I'm glad everybody came out and tried their best and did as well as everybody did.
Yeah, and I mentioned earlier in the broadcast, hats off to all you guys for coming out and giving it a shot and putting on a fairly decent show for what you had to work with this car. And we appreciate all you do for the Iron Thunder Racing Network and Iron Thunder Racing League. And we wish you good luck through the rest of the season. Hopefully, we'll have you back up in the booth more often.
Thanks. We'll see you guys next week.
Have a good one. All righty, we're going to let the league commissioner, we'll give him a second in the interview waiting room so we don't get any um, get any extra language we don't need. But joining me now, the driver of the Fort Worth Screen Printing 35 league commissioner Sawyer Ott. What a battle there to the bitter end. I believe you made up 9 positions in the last 5 laps, man. Congratulations.
Yeah, Grisham, I still am in disbelief. It feels awesome to win. Always, man. This league's really hard, especially at the Premier Series. Just didn't expect to win at all, to be honest. We've had such a rough start to the season. We're way back in the points, and just I wanted to come out of here with a solid finish. We got up in the top 10 early. I thought we were going to get some stage points, and just got wrecked about 3 times. I mean, like right rear, just I was trying to work the bottom and just kept getting hooked. And I had a ton of damage there at the end, and just methodically tried to not make any mistakes and got myself into the top 10 and was content with that. But then they kept taking each other out, and I was able to bob and weave and get to basically Roger there. And I knew I had a shot once the 88 and the 56 took each other out, and I got beside Roger. I knew I could do that. I wanted the top, and I was able to make it work. And I love racing with Roger. He's a good friend of mine, and it's fun to beat him. I think he's got one up on me since the Truck Series championship I lost a couple seasons ago, but I knew he was going to send it in there. So I backed up the corner and just pulled off the old crossover, man. So it just feels good to finally get a win this season and go ahead and lock ourselves in the playoffs. And yeah, get a win on dirt. I mean, that's something new I can add to the resume. And just, I'm glad Bayley Currey didn't win this race, I guess.
Well, I tell you what, he definitely tried to make it back through there, and we saw Josh Cully. He made his way up to the front, and there in the second into the second stage, he went pit side and was. I know you had your hands full. We were able to kind of watch it up here in the booth. But he was on a man on a mission, trying to get back to the front of the field, but unfortunately, everybody kind of struggling, trying to catch these cars through most of the race, and got caught up in a wreck. And we talked to Roger about, 2 totally different race cars racing so much differently here tonight than what we saw last night. Seemed like the track kind of took on the same characteristics as far as picking up that rubber and the moisture in the racetrack as well. But these race cars definitely race different. and you had to have a lot different line, it looked like, than what a lot of people tried last night.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I mean, two totally different animals, and to be honest, I like the next gen car better. I never thought I'd say that. I didn't get a chance to practice much this week, so getting out here and really use the first part of the race to learn. And there at the end, I was really confident and comfortable with how deep I could throw it in there and how sideways I could get it. And I use gear changes and stuff like that. You really had a lot of options, I felt like, throughout this race. And then, like you said, with the track getting slicked over at the end and the middle just being unusable, you had to go all the way to the top or all the way at the bottom to find any grip. And it was fun. I had a lot of fun tonight. I'm wore out, sweating, and just to somehow come back and win that race is really unbelievable. But that's why we do it. You're never out of it till you're out, and it just feels really good. So it's a big relief, like I said, after a really rough start to the season. So now we can go to Japan next week and try to just let it all hang out, get another win. But ultimately, I just want to thank my teammates, JCOM, Ray, Treston, Brandon, everybody really for the league that comes out and helps make this possible. Obviously, John Garrett, Fort Worth Screen Printing, Athens Screen Printing, all of our sponsors that help make this possible. Iron Thunder Racing Network with you, Chris Up, and all the admins. Thanks to my fiance and my family and everybody lets me do this. It's like I said, it is a really good feeling. Like, it's really hard. There's a lot of talented drivers out here. I think this is the probably most stacked season we've ever had. So to come out and get a win, it's a big confidence booster.
Most definitely, and we appreciate all you do. And I know it takes time away from the family and having a little one. I know how that is, but man, we appreciate you, and definitely thank you for putting dirt racing on here, because definitely a joy for me, a dirt track guy. I like to watch these cars sling in the dirt, and you guys definitely put on a hell of a show. This will definitely be a good one to go back and watch. Congratulations once again, and hopefully we can have you back up here soon.
Absolutely. Thank you, Chris. Everybody have a good night.
And that'll do it here from the Charlotte Motor Speedway, the dirt track at Charlotte Motor Speedway. We'll pull off the groove tires. We'll wash them off, get all the damage fixed, and we'll come back at you next week from a little bit cleaner speedway here in the Premier Series. We'll jump on board and we'll move on down to the World 250 Twin Ring Motegi Oval. We'll go 160 laps, 250 miles next Tuesday night. Congratulations once again. Your winner of the Bayley Currey Racing Showdown here at Charlotte Dirt Track, Sawyer Ott, Josh Ball, Roger Debo, podium finishes. Y'all keep showing up. We'll keep showing out. Good night, everybody.